All right, we are ready for another breathwork, meditation, and some gentle yoga time together. I like to have a yoga mat. If you want to stay in a chair, that's perfectly fine, you guys. It's very important that you just stay comfortable. If you are into meditation, breath work, or wanting to kind of grow in that experience and practice, I will encourage you to sit on the floor, get used to sitting upright and stable and comfortable and strengthening your core, strengthening your spine. And how we strengthen our spine is by strengthening the muscles that are surrounding that. So then we get used to sitting flat. But then if you need to take breaks, go sit against a wall, sit in a chair, have a strong, stable foundation and back. Please do, because we often, if this is not comfortable, we want to start little by little. Do it for a little while. Don't do it until it hurts, okay, y'all? It's really important to just work our way up to our strength. And so we're going to do that physically. We're going to do the same from our spiritual, Christological, Christ-centered, union-based place of also quieting the mind, quieting the heart, because we can love to be in the presence of God, but sometimes our mind gets busy. So we're using tools to practice to quiet the mind, quiet the body, quiet the monkey mind that I don't know about y'all, but I get it sometimes. And so it takes practice. And there's nothing like doing that together with one another. And we get to learn to bring our mind back into that still, quiet space. So we're going to just go ahead and start. Um, I like to have a candle. That's me. I like a little scent. I like something to bring me into a place of calm. Now, you can't really tell with the lights on this, but I have my space a little calmer, a little quieter as well. Maybe, on the background, you want some soft, gentle instrumental music. Again, whatever helps you come into a place of rest, reset, and relaxation. So sitting up nice and tall, whether you're in a chair with a straight back, on a couch, preferably not in a bed, because a bed is the place that we tend to associate with sleep. And so we don't want to fall asleep in our meditation time, but we want to calm. Now, sometimes we do, and that's okay if you do, because then that's what your body needs. But the goal in this time is to kind of be able to stay awake, to practice some breath work practices and meditation on bringing ourselves into that awareness with our oneness with Christ. And so we're going to do a variety of things. Have fun with it, you guys. And if it's not your thing, that's okay. But just getting the opportunity to experience a little bit where we can come into rest and reset. The goal is to move our autonomic nervous system, calming that down, quieting it, moving it from that fight or flight reactive state that we operate in a lot of the time, and bring it back into rest and reset. Move from sympathetic into a place where we recognize the parasympathetic. Our body recognizes it and knows how to get there faster and faster all the time. So we're going to start with a little bit of breath work. So there's lots of different things that we can do with breath work practice. And we're going to just first and foremost start with what we call coherent breathing. And so with coherent breathing, we're sitting nice and tall. Anytime we're doing breath work, meditation, you can just soften your gaze. So when we soften our gaze, that's more like looking down your nose or maybe looking a foot in front of you towards the ground. Or you can completely close your eyes. Or if it feels more comfortable for you guys, just leave your eyes open. It doesn't really matter, okay? I will often close my eyes, or I'll kind of go back and forth in between, but you do you, okay? So let's just go ahead, sit tall, either soften our gaze, closing our eyes, and just filling our sit bones in the cushion or on your mat. Just bringing our awareness really to our physicality and to our body. And first, just really observe the breath without changing your breath in any way. Just observe where the breath lands in the body. As you breathe in through the nose and perhaps out through the mouth to get started. Now, if you're already comfortable with breathing in through the nose and out through the nose, feel comfortable, feel free to do that. I don't know about y'all, but in Texas, we've got pollen everywhere. Sometimes we're dealing with allergies this time of year. So breathe in a way that's comfortable for your body, not forcing it into anything that it's not ready for. As you breathe in, notice if that breath lands down in the belly. Or perhaps that breath feels like it's right in that heart center space. Perhaps it's up in the chest and you notice your chest rising and falling. And for some, it's in the throat, or maybe we even feel it in our face. And without any judgment, every time we practice the present, we need to receive whatever shows up with a state of curiosity, kindness, compassion, and just observing what the body brings to the table. Notice the breath. This is that ruah breath and that breath of life. And so as we're really beginning our time together, we just honor the presence of the living God, the triune Godhead, Father, Son, and Spirit, indwelling in this breath. That might look different for each one of us this evening or today. But it is a gift, and it is beautiful. It is precious, and it is life-giving. And as we become aware of that breath within us and honor that breath and connect with that life force in us, it begins to flow from us and out into the world around with our awareness of that life-giving force. And so as we begin to honor and appreciate and value this breath of life and its creativity and the way it expresses itself from us and through us out into this world, y'all, the ripple effect is going to be incredible. And so now we're going to move into a coherent breath. And coherent breath simply is just a gentle rhythm of breathing in for a count, and we're going to do a count of 3, and then we're going to breathe out for a count of 3. And I'm going to guide you through that for the first 5 or 6 breaths. And then I'm just going to talk a little bit as you continue in that breath practice. So again, I'm going to remind you, sit tall. Let's pull that belly in towards the spine, and I want you to soften your shoulders. And breathing in, wherever the breath lands is perfectly fine with where you're at. If you can bring it down into the belly, that's great. If it's up higher, that's great too. I want you to take a nice breath in, 2, 3, and out, 2, 3. Breathe in, 2, 3, and out, 2, 3. Breathe in, 2, 3, and out, 2, 3. Breathe in, 2, 3, and out, 2, 3. And as you continue with that at a pace that feels comfortable for you, a simple 3-count breath in, and on that exhale, softening the shoulders, continuing to find a rhythm. I want you to imagine that there is a healing oil that is being poured out on the forehead. Right at your hairline, you feel a warm, healing, refreshing oil that softens the forehead. As you feel that gently drip down from the forehead and the hairline. As this oil makes its way down the forehead, imagine it as if it is softening right above your eyebrows, massaging and softening any tension that we're holding in the forehead region. Continuing to breathe, you feel this softening through the temples. Making its way past your eyes. It's as if your eyeballs are actually resting and softening in the sockets. And it's like, how do I soften my eyes within the sockets? Picturing the tissue, the tendons, and the muscles, and everything that connects to the face. You're relaxing all of those muscles around the eyes, making your way with this oil down your cheeks. The jaws will soften, the cheekbones will soften, relaxing all the way down the jawline. The ears relax. And there's even a space between your upper and your lower teeth. Maybe your lips part ever so slightly to allow that entire jaw to soften as oil is rubbed across the jaw, the cheek, and down to the chin. Continuing to breathe a balanced breath in and out. You feel your collarbones soften and relax. A softening of the shoulders as you relax deeper. Still sitting upright, feeling the sit bones in the cushion or on your mat. Breathing and relaxing into this Ruach breath as you rest in the arms of the beloved. Allowing the pelvic bowl to soften and relax and to feel safe as you're held in this triune hug. The hands are softened. The palms are relaxed. You are fully seen and you are fully known in this space. And as you continue to sit in this posture, know that anytime you need to twist or move, if you're choosing to sit without a back, you're free to do whatever you need to do to stay comfortable. Or again, moving up against a wall. We're going to kind of segue into a little bit of heart-brain coherence breathing. And so if you'd like, I invite you to take one of your hands and just place it really over your heart center. So for me, that's taking my right hand and I like to go across just a little bit to the left of center line. Staying connected to the breath. See if you can find and feel your heartbeat. You've been practicing a little bit of rhythmic breath that might elevate that heart to feel the heartbeat. But you know what? If you can't feel it, that's okay too. Sometimes our breath becomes so shallow, we don't really realize that it's hard to find the heartbeat, but it's there. So we trust that we know it's there. Again, anytime we're doing this sort of practice, we want to be gentle and kind to ourselves, not judgmental, just working with whatever shows up. So I invite you here to just inhale and exhale with intention. Breathing in through the nose, allow your hand to expand and feel your heart rise, your hand almost lifting up a little bit. And with the exhale, just softening, feeling the hand coming back in towards the body. And so when I say heart-brain coherence, we are intentionally using our mind to focus in and feel the breath. So you're directing your breath as if you are breathing in through that heart space. Imagine in your mind's eye, in your sanctified imagination, picture your heart. And with each thought and inhale, you are expanding that heart space. And on the exhale, you're contracting that heart space. Relaxing the shoulders. Because you're doing something new, you might find your body tense up. You're like, I don't even know what we're doing. This feels weird. Soften the body and just feel and picture that organ. Thinking of our union, remembering, bringing ourselves in, knowing that this is the abode, this is the dwelling place of the kingdom within. And so we want to familiarize ourselves as much as we can with this space, connecting with the breath, connecting with others, connecting with life within. Breathing in, allowing the belly to expand as you feel the heart expand with each inhale and exhale. Softening the face. If you feel tension rising in the body, just observing and then bringing that mind and heart back into connection. It is in this place that we feel and we experience the life within. Elevating our thoughts to this life force. And as we're connecting with the breath and we're connecting with the mind, we shift into this state of gratitude, coming into this place of thankfulness. So just drawing your thoughts as you're imagining your heart, expanding that heart space for something that you're grateful for. Maybe that's something that took place today. I got to spend a little bit of time with my grandbaby, my new grandbaby, and that just brings so much joy and gratitude into my heart. So maybe there's something, just can be little or big, something from your day that just you choose gratitude. Connecting with that picture, connecting with the heart, and then bringing that emotion that was connected to that thing you're grateful for, maybe for some sunshine, or maybe it was a rainy day, like Karen said, but maybe there was a nap or there was something that brought joy. And we're bringing that memory and we're bringing that emotion, y'all, into the heart space. Feel that gratitude, feel that Trinitarian connection of joy and of life and of love into this space, that life force. And when we connect like our visualization, our emotion, and our chosen state of gratitude, things begin to shift physiologically for us, you guys. And so practicing this even just for a few minutes a day can make a huge shift in our mental well-being, our emotional state, and our remembering, of who we are. So go ahead and play with this for another moment or two, deepening that breath, that mind and heart connection. And then we're just going to segue into some verbal breath work. And so a lot of times with meditative breath work, bringing ourselves into our union awareness, we'll choose a word or a phrase or something that we want to honor within our body and bring us into that awareness of Christ in us. And so for me, just simply using the word Yahweh, where we can inhale Yah and exhale way. Inhale Yah and exhale way. So if you need to give yourself just a little shoulder circles before we get started, taking our shoulders, shrugging them up towards our ears, circling back around. Just giving a little movement in the body, maybe a gentle spinal twist to the right, belly into the spine to keep that spine protected and nice and tall. Exhaling, coming back to center. A gentle twist to the left. Sitting up again, nice and tall, gazing a little bit over your shoulder. Breathing in, and then exhaling back to center. We're just going to practice Yahweh, coming into that awareness, you guys, of Christ in us. It can get you feeling so good. Softening the shoulders. Breathing in, Yah. And exhale, Wei. Breathing in from the belly, Yah. Exhaling out, Wei. Breathing in deep from the belly, eyes softened, Yah. Wei. Breathing in, Yah. And exhaling way. Continuing at a comfortable pace and rhythm for you. In your mind's eye, seeing and feeling the light as you inhale from the base of your spine at your root, imagining a light as if you have a light going up an elevator shaft of your entire spinal column, those energy centers within the being. Seeing that light on the inhale of Yah, all the way up to the top of your crown of your head, and exhaling, letting that light slide back down that elevator shaft of your spinal column on the way. Inhaling Yah. And exhaling way. Knowing that that light is the light of life. That activation of that light in you, Christ in you, energizing you, bringing so much life in you. And we're doing this collectively. And it brings him so much joy for us to just stop and slow down. Breathing in the life. Breathing in, yeah. Way. When you're ready, just bringing a little awareness back. Just thanking God for the breath of life in you. You know, I'm feeling like a little bit of movement might be good right now before I move into the meditation. I've had you guys sitting still a long time. We've got a little breath work practice. How are people feeling? Thumbs up, down, good movement. Hopefully you guys are doing all right. I'm feeling good. If you're seated on a mat or a cushion, let's just take our hands back behind our body, feet out in front. We're just going to do little windshield wipers with our legs, just a little movement. So I'm just going to take my knees, I'm going to drop them over to one side, doesn't matter what side you start with, bring them back to center, and then we're going to drop them the other way. And let's just get in a flow that feels comfortable for you. Just a little bit of hip opener, gentle movement. All of our movements are going to be seated today. And we're probably just going to do a few minutes of movement, and then we'll go into meditation. That'll probably take about 15 minutes and then still give us plenty of time to wrap up. Then we'll come back to center. I'm going to move my mat or my cushion behind out of the way and just sit on my mat. And then let's go into butterfly. Taking our hands, clasping them around our feet. So it doesn't matter if your butterfly is up here, your butterfly is all the way down. Let's just sit with a nice tall spine. So we're going to relax those shoulders down. See if you can loosen them. We don't want them up here. Sometimes we need constant reminders that we're eating our shoulders up into our ears. So I'm going to remind you, soften the shoulders. Allow the scapula to just slide down your back. Like sliding those scapula, those back of the points of your scapula and your back as if they're melting into your back pockets. Softening the shoulders, opening through the collarbone. So we're opening, I'm constantly working to open this heart space more. And just allowing our spine to lengthen. And then we're going to lean forward into this butterfly gently. Belly into the spine, protecting the lower back, strengthening that spinal column. And if you'd like to curve, we'll go ahead and bend over just to the point that's comfortable for you. Keeping those shoulders softened, chin towards the chest, lengthening through the neck. Feel a nice stretch in the back of the neck. Taking a deep breath in and letting that out. Keeping the forehead softened, cheeks softened. We'll come back up tall. Then we'll go back into easy pose if you'd like. And let's just take our left hand out in front, right hand back behind, belly into the spine. And we're going to gaze over that right shoulder. Again, just a gentle spinal twist. Breathing in and out. As we exhale, let's come back to center. And we'll do the same on the other side, right hand in front, left hand back behind. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, a gentle twist. Maybe gaze over that left shoulder a little bit. Nice inhale, softening the face. And we'll exhale back to center. Now let's take our right ear towards our right shoulder. So we're just going to get a nice gentle neck stretch. Right ear towards the right shoulder. Breathing in and out. Come back to center. And we're going to drop that left ear towards the left shoulder. Just notice the difference from side to side. Just observe, notice where there's maybe a little more tension held in one side of the neck. Exhale, coming back up to center. Let's take that chin over to the right shoulder. Sitting up still nice and tall. Exhale, back towards center. Then go on through. Let's head over to the left shoulder. Again, observing the difference from side to side. Exhale the chin back to center. If you're on a mat or on the floor, let's come over to all fours. So we're going to come into a position of tabletop. We're just going to do a few simple cat-cows here for the spine. So if you need to have something to protect your knees, have a blanket or something underneath your knees, we're going to inhale and drop our belly. Chin comes up as we breathe in. Allow the spine to drop. We're going to be like a cow. And then inhale. Chin comes towards the chest, rounding out like a scary cat back. Really stretching out that back, pushing with the hands into the mat. Feeling a nice stretch across the upper back. And we'll inhale. Again, drop the belly towards the mat. Chin comes up. Breathing in nice and deep. And exhale, rounding it out. And let's do that 2 more times at your own pace, whether you like to take it nice and slow or go a little faster. Just stretching out the spine, rounding. And then we'll come back to neutral when you're finished. And then we're going to push back into a child's pose. Now, for some people, maybe you need a block or a cushion to sit on that your knees don't want to go all the way down. You can do a simple child's pose without a full bend or extension in the knees. Or if you're comfortable, all the way back. Reaching those hands out, resting the forehead gently on the mat. And on the inhale, send breath back into your back of your lungs, like you're filling up like a backpack, like one of those Camelback water packs. Inhaling, filling up the back, allowing that fascia muscle to just stretch and expand. And then exhale, sinking the chest towards the mat. And on the next inhale, let's walk our hands to the far left edge of your mat. We're going to get a nice stretch on the right obliques. Sitting back into that right heel. Breathing in. And then letting that out. And let's walk our hands back towards the center. And then walk all the way through to the far right side of your mat. And sitting back on the left hip, allowing the left obliques to just stretch and expand.
Bringing that breath all the way into that camel back and your backside. Feel the expansion as you soften with the inhale and relax further with the exhale. And let's walk our hands back towards center. And then push back up into tabletop. And we'll just go ahead and rotate back down flat. Bringing our legs back forward. Just a few simple stretches to get us ready for a little meditation time. All right, we're back. Maybe you've got some water, you need a sip. I know I do. So we're going to wrap up our time with a meditation reading. And so you can, again, practice sitting in your meditative breathwork state, or you are welcome to even lay down on your mat and relax, or sit in a chair. I'm going to encourage you guys, though, to use your coherent breath. You can do your heart-mind coherence if you would like, and listening to the words, imagining your heart expanding, growing with gratitude as you're hearing all of these words, or simply just rest and relax and choose a coherent breath that is balanced. So maybe you're inhaling for the count of 4, exhaling 4, whatever you can keep a gentle rhythm and an awareness that'll keep you alert. So go ahead and find your breath. Breathing and relaxing, softening the body to that place and that state of union, of oneness. And placing your hand on your heart, I'm going to read something that comes out of Matt Spinks' book called High on God. And this was written by Nathan James Dickerson. It says, "Can you feel me?" Placing your hand on your heart, you are feeling me now. That beat. Bum, 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 bum. It is sustained by my very word and my power. It is in me that you live and move and have your existence. This means that you do nothing without me and nothing outside of me. Although your subjective perspective of distance and separation feels as though it is so real, I am closer to you than you are to you. Although at times you try so hard to hide from me, building invisible walls around your heart and then calling yourself tough, we both know that deep inside of you is a river of love, just waiting for your acknowledgement of its existence is to burst forth, gushing like a mighty fountain out of your belly. If you could only feel what I feel and what I hear, if you could only see what I see, your desire of walking in love would effortlessly manifest. If for one moment you could experience this eternal fire of delight and pleasure that I take in the masterpiece that you are, you would never, ever again need someone else's approval. You would never again need to rely on an external source to escape the hellish experience your mind relives day in and out. And you would never again need to hide in your designer clothes of guilt and shame. Although those clothes are made by your hands and not mine, I am not the one who shames you, beloved. I am drunk on you. So high on what I see, the perfection of your innocence. This is not a daydream full of wishful thinking, but rather you have always, always been my dream come true, giving me a nonstop one-way flight into the paradise of my choice. This romance of the ages was my idea, and you were at the center of my vacation. My purpose, my paradise. If my private island of rest had a name, it would be your name. When I imagined the cosmos, I never imagined the stars without you. But you were the inspiration for all of the creative light that has ever left my hands. At the forefront of my mind, when carefully sculpting the planets and the sun, was you. All I could think about was you. And even now, I am still stuck on you. I stand in awe of your beauty. I sit in awe of your existence. I kneel at your feet in service. And in your presence, I am humbled and honored to be your Papa. The greatest gift and honor is having you as my child. And as your Papa, I love watching you grow. I love changing your poopy diapers. The fragrance of your mess releases such an atmosphere of bliss, as I know a moment of change, a moment of embrace is coming. And it is one day closer to the day that you are trained and ready for your big boy pants that are simply waiting for you. Your growing up in me does not take time. Just as a tree does not grow because of time, but rather because of its environment. Watching your transformation gives me the greatest delight, and it is only through intimacy with me that your transfiguration will explode out of you. Through the awareness and participation of our blissful union that I initiated, you will begin to walk in the reality of who I have designed you to be. I am your bliss, and you are mine. Will you let me be your drink? Will you let me be your I am? Will you let go of the person who you think you are and embrace who I am as who you are? I have no other desire than to lavish my love, my weighty, unconditional, non-judgmental, healing love on you. It was not a one-time deal that I only did at Calvary, but my love is a continual, unceasing, gushing white water river that drowns those who are weighty. Let all that I am influence you to stop fighting the river. But let this love wash over you and exchange your weight of anxiety and fear with my ever-present, indwelling peace and bliss. The glory within you, Christ, is more than enough. And in your weakness, I am made strong. What I have already placed and invested, what I have deposited on the inside of you, the Spirit's influence in your heart, is what strengthens you in the moments of weaknesses. My beloved, those moments do not scare me or concern me. I am not afraid of your weakness. I am not terrified of the monster that you see, because that monster does not exist. What does exist is my magnificent obsession, you. the real you, the actual, factual you, which I declared over you before I created the cosmos, and it is good. Beloved, do not condemn yourself over what you think I am disappointed in, for I am not disappointed with you. Rather, I am ecstatically beyond satisfied and delighted in the essence of you. Just one glance of your eye awakens me and fuels this ever increasing light, this ever expanding cosmos. My justice is not something to be afraid of. If you are afraid of me, then perhaps you do not know me. When Jesus, my beloved Son, who embodied the revelation of me, and at the same time the revelation of which rock you were hewn, wept over Lazarus and released the prostitute from her accuser, he was releasing my justice. My justice has already been released upon the earth. All is forgiven, and my compassion will always continue to be the forefront of Spirit's heartbeat. Ba-boom, ba-boom, ba-boom. I love you, my child. I love my bride. Yield your heart to my overwhelming love and see the places that you'll go and what you will accomplish as your passion is fueled by my bliss and my joy for you. So breathing in this love, inhaling the essence of the Father's divine union, the oneness, this love that never leaves us and never fails. And as we connect with this breath of life, this river that flows, the one that has always known us from before the beginning of time. This is the place in which we can return every single day. And as we get a chance to come together and grow in our experience and our practice of quieting the mind and quieting the heart, awakening this river of life, our bodies will come back into that place of remembrance. So when you're ready, just bringing a little movement maybe back into your hands and your feet, maybe moving your legs, swaying from side to side, a gentle rock. Opening your eyes when you're ready, if you haven't already. Man, I just thank you guys for hopping on this evening. I hope you're doing well and feeling rested. Love to hear if anybody has anything they want to share, or just how you're doing, or if you just feel the need to stay where you're at and hop off, that's perfectly fine too.
Thank you so much. I love the meditation.
Good. Yeah. I'm glad. Very good. Anybody else? How you guys doing? How was that for you? Y'all feeling some peace?
I love that, Amy. said that you read that out of, did you say Matt Spinks' book?
Yeah, High on God.
Okay.
It's a great book. And
I haven't read that. I've heard a little bit of Matt Spinks, but I haven't read any of his books.
yeah, the last chapter has just a handful of different people's like meditative words and things like that. So I'm like, I think I'm going to use some of those. I talked to Matt about it and I said, can I read those? He's like, yeah, you can, of course. So
I love that. It's
I'm
beautiful.
actually doing my next chat. I'll be posting a video of him next week. So
Okay,
conversation.
cool. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Hope you're feeling restful. Thanks for
Mhm.
joining us, Jamie. Come back.
Yes,
again.
thank you. My gift. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you bet.
Thank you for your time, Amy.
Yeah, thanks for hopping on, Karen. Great to
It's
see
good.
you.
Relaxing.
Good. That's the goal. Hope to see you guys again. Everybody take care. Have a great night.